This is JD of JD's Man Cave, and we're here. We're gonna do a special selection tonight on Tuesday night. I missed my buddy Big Reggie last Saturday because he had some family issues that he had to take care of. Which we all have that problem. Well, it's not really a problem. It's a blessing to have a family they have to take care of and be responsible for. So I just wanted to catch up with my buddy and let y'all chime in and listen to some of the conversations that we have. Because as black men, we have conversations that are about foolishness all the time, but we never hardly sit around and talk about the real things that we need to talk about that are going to make our families and our households better. So I decided that Reggie and I were going to get together on a Tuesday night. There's not a whole lot going on, but we want to talk about some things that we think maybe pertinent to your household. Maybe it'll help you through a struggle, or if you have any comments or anything like that, feel free to chime in on this, and we'll make you part of the show as well. So Reggie, good afternoon. First of all, my brother, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. How about yourself?
Man, I'm wonderful. If it got any better, I think it was a lot. But anyway, you got a topic you want to talk about tonight, man? Let's get started and get this thing going.
Well, I want to talk about Black Lives Matter. I mean, it's an important issue to me, and I'm not understanding. I was on social media talking to a cat, and he basically called me a terrorist, and this was one of our people calling me a terrorist.
He called you a Taliban?
Well, no, I was a Black Lives Matter terrorist to say exactly how he said it.
Oh, that's something he made up on his own, huh?
Well, that's something that some of the media, especially Fox News, is calling us terrorists because of what we're doing. I mean, I guess we being compared to Al-Qaeda or something like that. I don't know, but I don't understand, why a brother of mine would, call me that because I didn't agree with something that he felt was true, and I don't know if it's true or false, but he couldn't prove it to me whether it was true.
Right.
I,
sometimes I have a problem with you, fact checking them. When they just, when they just throwing out ignorant information, which is what causes so much discord in our black community already. We don't need no, as they say, what do you call it, false prophets, no false propaganda to rile us up. Sometimes black people will do things just to rile another sector of our community up. But my thing is, whenever you do that and you do it with lies and misinformation, as because we kids, we couldn't say lie, but misinformation will use the word, and I just think that's you're more dangerous than anything to our community when you throwing out misinformation and riling up a sector for no reason. So you have to understand that. I mean, we as show hosts and guys who come here and give our commentary, we have to understand that we are fighting a virus in our community that that's worse than coronavirus, really. But go ahead, Rich. Go ahead with what this what do you call you, Black Lives Matter terrorist
yeah,
talking about?
Because the reason I'm assuming the reason why he called me this is because he couldn't prove his point to me. So he decided, you know what, I know how to do this. I'm gonna just throw insults at him and try to throw him off his game, and maybe he'll, listen to what I have to say. It was basically over something real silly. And if I was a terrorist, a Black Lives Matter terrorist, I would probably be more likely to believe what he was trying to tell me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's, I mean, he wanted to tell me that JFK, his grandfather, his great grandfather was one of the founders of the KKK. And, he had the guy's name listed down. I mean, he had the last name Kennedy. And so,
Right.
you know, I found that very interesting. I've never heard it before, so I decided to do a little research and look it up to see if I could find out any information on this cat to see if he was actually even kin to Kennedy. I couldn't find any information showing that he was kin to Kennedy,
Big,
nor was he his great grandfather because I found out who his great grandfather was. So they didn't have the same name. The
something.
last name, yeah.
Right. Let me explain something though. In his eyes, you wasn't supposed to go and research that. You supposed to just took that at face value and ran with it. See, that's where you messed up. You actually use your own common sense and good sense and went research something instead of just taking somebody's word for it. See, that's another problem I want to talk about in our black community. We have too many sheep. We will follow somebody else's lead and won't research it for themselves. I'm glad that you brought the fact up that you went and researched it because that's what you were supposed to do. Now, anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. I have to just, shine a light when it needs to be shown. So, yeah, that's where you messed up. That you weren't supposed to go research nothing. You're supposed to just take his word for it. So, really, he's an idiot.
Well, I wasn't trying to cause no problems. I was just
Well,
letting the man know that he was false, about the information. I didn't call him a liar. I just
right,
told him, hey, man, the information is false. This is such and such as great grandfather. It's not that person. In fact, I can't find where they even related.
right,
He went on to tell me that I was a terrorist. I'm a liar. Fans on fire types. I'm like, what? Really? I
yeah,
mean, this guy was really going in on me about how I'm trying to con his friends. You need to get off my page. But I wasn't on his page. I was on somebody else's page that he was on.
right,
And he after I kept it, I tried to keep the situation calm because I wanted to let him know that, hey, man, it ain't all about the violence. Why you insulting me? I'm just telling you something. I mean, we should be able to talk about this like men. But he
right.
didn't want to talk about that. And when I told him who actually was the man's great grandfather, he showed me. He pulled up, I guess, his proof, which he told me he was going to just put it in my face because I don't know what I'm talking about, and showed
Right,
me who the man's the person I listed was the man's grandfather, not his great grandfather. I said,
right,
okay, well, I could be wrong. Maybe the research I did didn't, maybe I need to do a little bit more research. So I researched it some more, found out I was still right, but the grandfather and the great grandfather have the same name.
right.
So I'm thinking, well, maybe he's just mistaken. I don't know. I can't say what the man reason for wanting this other guy to be the great grandfather. I mean, what are we gonna get out of that? I don't know. I mean, but hey, man, he stopped talking to me after that.
And right,
So
and not that you actually, by saying what you said to him, you actually gave this fool a way out of his idiocy. But he chose to wallow in his foolishness and keep
that's
on,
what I thought I was doing.
huh? What you say?
That's what I thought I was doing. That's what I thought I was doing, giving him a way out so he won't look like such a fool. Because if I was
Right.
wrong, I'm gonna say, hey man, my bad, I was wrong. You was right, but I didn't get that from him.
Hey man, let me tell you
He
something.
just didn't want to hear it because I wouldn't.
You can turn every light on in the house. If a brother gonna be blind, he just gonna be blind. Ain't nothing you can do. You can turn every light on if you want to, and they still ain't gonna find their way out there and be blind. So I understand. And you know what? That leads me to another topic that I want to talk about, Reggie. I want to talk about the American black family and American black people who are angry and talk about public schooling. You see what I'm saying? You got to understand that
Okay.
if your kids are only going to public school and you're relying on public school to educate your children, then you have to understand that there's going to be another undereducated black generation. We as black people have to invest, invest in our kids' education. And what I mean by that, instead of buying that baby that PlayStation, buy that baby some books to read. Build a library in your house. You know what I'm saying? You got that extra room, you got that extra wall over there. Put a bookshelf or two over there and fill it up with books. And teach that baby that reading will get him further than that reset button on that PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? We so quick to try to buy our kids the newest game, the newest this. But go to the bookstore, take that baby on a trip to the bookstore and buy them the newest book, that they may be interested. You never know what book will spark a certain interest in your child. We too worried about, well, he get all this education at school. Let me tell you something. We as black people have to understand something, Reg. The oppressor will never educate you enough to be equivalent to him. If we think it's going to happen, we got to be. We need some psychological evaluation. Let me ask you a question. Let's just use it in our layman's term. If you was trying to keep somebody down, would you educate them enough to be as smart as you?
Well, history has shown that that's true. I mean, our people, they didn't want them to learn how to read and write.
Exactly.
There's a reason for that. I mean, right. History is just repeating itself. I mean, our history is supposed to teach us. We're supposed to learn from our history.
Exactly.
But we seem to not be learning anything at all.
Right. We keep repeating. Why? We keep repeating.
That's why.
We are not examining, and we try to forget our history rather than embrace and embellish. Well, not embellish, but embrace our history and learn from it. Because the thing is, I was one of those kids who, my mother, she wasn't she didn't have my family didn't have a lot of money when I was growing up. But one thing, I don't know if you can remember, I may be telling my age, but which I'm 51 anyway, I don't care. But I remember there used to be guys that came in the neighborhood and you can buy 3 or 4 encyclopedias at a time.
Yeah, I remember that.
My parents built a set of encyclopedias, buying 2 or 3 of them at a time. And I remember this because I would do my school projects and I could only do them on the books that we already had at the house. So, if we had A through F, I had to do something from A through F for my school project. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have anything that was above F, so I had to find a topic that went from A to F and be able to research it and write a paper on it and get my facts together from those encyclopedias. But that is just an instance that I'm talking about. Parents investing money in their kids' education and teaching them to start some learning at home rather than just relying on what HISD or A-Leaf or any of these other public school systems are trying to teach them. But they're never going to teach your child enough to get them. Teach them just enough to go get a paycheck and come back home. You know what I'm saying? Keep them oppressed, right, broken, and keep them a consumer and a you won't get to a certain skill level. They won't allow that with public schooling. You see all the stuff they took out of public schooling that we even had, Reggie, in the time we were there.
Yes.
You got to understand that public schooling is not, especially in the inner city, predominantly black schools. Now, public schooling is not gonna teach your child the advanced lessons that they're gonna need to really, really succeed in the United States and in our economy. That's just not. We cannot expect the oppressor to educate us enough to be on their level. But we sit around and we feel like it's gonna happen. I guess by definition, that's insanity. Doing the same things over and over again and expecting a different outcome. It's not gonna. I'll go ahead, Rich. I'm sorry.
I have a funny story, man, about actually when I was younger. Every when you're in school, they always let you go to the library and you pick out a book and you check it out and you read it. Well, it was certain things that I was interested in. Like I was always interested in Greek mythology. I was always interested in animals and different types of animals. So I'm always getting those type of books to read. Now, when I was younger, I loved to read. Not so much now, I guess, because I'm older now, but I still do read every now and then. But to go on with the story, every animal there was, I read that book about that animal. I was just that interested in it. So when
Right.
we was at Hampton one day, and we all sitting there, we watching Jeopardy,
That's Hampton
and
University.
yeah, Hampton University. We watching Jeopardy.
Right.
Now I hadn't read these books since I was like maybe in elementary school.
Right.
A topic came up about blue whales. I mean, well, just about whales. Period. That was the whole, topic was about whales.
Whole
And
category.
I was sitting there, I'm sitting there watching it with the cats and stuff, and they was asking questions, and I was answering each question about the whales, and everybody was sitting there looking at me like, man, that ain't right, Red. You don't know what you're talking about. But every time the answer would come up, they was looking at me like, how did you know? Because when I was a kid, man, I just retained it. I read it. I was interested in that. And I don't know why I remember it, but every time they were showing pictures of the whales and stuff like that. Not just ask the question, they were showing pictures of, oh, that's a sperm whale. That's a right whale. That's, whatever type of whale it was. And they couldn't believe that I was actually a smart brother. I guess I was just supposed to be a dumb football jock. But I'm just sitting there asking, man, that was just one topic now. I mean, I can't go on Jeopardy and win nothing. But if it's all about certain topics, I know, hey, man, I can win it all.
But see what I'm saying, and that's funny that you say that, because see, that's what I mean about kids and reading. You never know what they'll retain. What that you may have fooled around and sparked your interest and became a marine biologist or something. You know what I'm saying, for your love of whales. But you never know when it comes to books what a kid will grab and hold on to, and what may be nurtured in that child from just simply, like you say, simply reading. We'd rather buy our kid a PlayStation than to build a library in our house. You know what I'm saying? And then you wonder why this kid back there, and you sending him to school and he coming back with D's and F's, and you building an environment. We need to nurture and build an environment that will nurture and breed learning in our households, and our kids and generations will be better for that year after year. But like I said, that we rather buy that baby the newest Jordans, the newest PlayStation game, and be through with them. When you could have took
my wife is serious about the books.
I'm sorry.
I say my wife is serious about the books,
and she should be, because I'm glad y'all brought that up, Reggie, because y'all still have school-age children in your household. So that's why I know this topic is near and dear to you and your wife's heart, because y'all are actually raising and molding some young minds. And like I said, you never know what your kids can be if given the opportunity and given an environment that nurtures their learning. You may get a doctor out of the pack. You may get a lawyer, a marine biologist, anything, veterinarian, whatever. You never know what can be sparked in a child and what you end up with. Yeah.
Yeah, so, excuse me for a second. I'm stirring these beans and rice I got cooking in here.
Boy, look here, we do it all, don't we, Reggie?
Oh yeah, got to.
Hey man, we gotta do it, baby. Hey, look here, man. Ain't nothing like a black man who takes responsibility, man. We made it, so we gotta take care of it. Yeah, that's beautiful, man. I'm glad to see you taking care of your business over there, big dog.
Yeah, my wife, she started it, but as usual, I gotta finish it.
Hey man, look here. That's called teamwork. And guess what? Teamwork make a dream work, baby. I just happen to have a good teammate over here that helps me with shows and production. You see how nice this thing is set up. She don't play no games around here. But
yeah, I like the way it's set up.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up another topic, Reggie, that I want people to, because it's something that I've started doing. I've started going on Amazon and picking up books that I think, because I'm 51 years old, but my education is nowhere near over. So I picked up a book that I feel, well, actually it was it was recommended rather by another one of our co-host, Steve Bobineau. He recommended the book and I bought it. And let me tell you something, it's one of those kind of books that are hard to put down once you start reading it, because of the topic. First of all, I'm very interested in what the topic is, and not only that, it gives you some insight on the day-to-day battle that we go through as Black people. And the book I'm talking about is this one right here. As you can see, the name of it is The 48 Laws of Black Empowerment. If you get an opportunity, Reggie, go on Amazon. It's like $9.99 or something like that. And get you a copy of this, man, and read it. And I guarantee you it's going to change your views and give you a different type of insight, because I know, that you understand a lot of things and the problems that Black people go through. Now, one thing that this book really sparked in me is let's just say the literacy of the Black people, illiteracy of Black people when it comes to financial literacy. We don't know how money works. We don't understand credit. We don't understand interest rates. For the most part, I'm not saying there aren't some educated Black people who have actually gone out and educated themselves, but I'm talking about as a whole. I know in the family I grew up in, my mother and father didn't teach us about credit. My mother and father didn't teach us about interest rates. Basically, probably, I tell people all the time, we as Black parents operate out of, not knowing, ignorancy ourselves, because we take the time to educate ourselves. Therefore, we can't educate our kids. So we sometimes function out of ignorance, and we don't teach our kids because we don't know ourselves. And that's nobody's fault. I'm not blaming my parents or anybody else's parents, but I'm just stating the fact. And that's why I have gotten so into reading books and self-help type books and books that will help me in whatever it is my endeavors are that I'm trying to partake in. But I just think that this is an excellent book, and it talks about us teaching our kids financial literacy and learning about credit and understanding how money works. And it also talks about how fast the dollar bill leaves out of our Black community as opposed to other communities such as Asian, Indian, Hispanic. They're like the Chinese, their dollar circulates at least 32 times or so before it leaves their community. Yeah. Now, I think Hispanic is more like 27 times, and Indian is more like, I think it's 25 or 24. No, I'm sorry. Indian is 27 times, and Hispanic is more like 25. So we and as a Black person, as soon as we get a dollar, it's gone. We spend it in another community, picking up Jordans and PlayStations and all these other different things, rather than reinvesting it in Black businesses right in our own community. Now you got Chinatown, in cities. There's always a Chinatown, because that's Asian Americans always doing business with each other. Now, I don't know. I mean, Indian communities have certain businesses that they put up in their communities, and they do commerce and business with one another. And of course, Hispanics, they spend their money with one another. And not only that, they will all get in one house and pool their money together.
Yeah.
Now, in Black community, all we got is the hood. And every store in the hood is owned by somebody other than us.
Correct.
And hurry up and go dump our money in the liquor store, the pawn shop, the only Black business in the hood that belongs to us outright is the Black church. Is the Black church. That's it.
Well, it's also the barbershop and the beauty salons. That's it.
Right. That's primarily owned by us as Black as well. You're right. And I don't know why I didn't say that. I am a barber.
Yeah. But
But
there's
I
nothing else.
no, there's really nothing else that you can say that we have inherently became prime owners of, other than the black church and, like you say, barbershops and beauty shops, even our nail salons. And you got women who go get their nails done every week. There is not a black woman in an. I've seen one. I know one girl. I must admit that has her own black nail techs shop. I mean, I know one girl in all of Houston that I know, and I've been in the barber and beauty business for over 20, over 20 years.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's just amazing to me that we don't know our economic worth and our economic value. We don't know the power of our own dollars. And there's no such thing as black people are broke in the hood. Because let me tell you something, we are the biggest consumers of the craziest things you ever want to see in your life. Why do you uh, Indians and Asians come and set their shops up right in the hood?
Because they're
Because
making money.
they know they can sell us anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, I just don't understand why, why black people can't understand that or grasp that. It just hurts my feelings a lot of times that we can't do business with each other. We can't, you know, start businesses together. We can't spend our money with black businesses because let me tell you something about black. I've had my run-ins and share of black businesses, brother.
Oh
And
yeah.
I try to patronize them, Reggie, but let's just be honest, man. They ethical values and their professionalism sometimes lack.
Yeah.
And I just hate to say that about my people, but I'm gonna tell you this, Reggie. I ain't gonna give up on us. I
No.
won't do that.
We
I,
all we got. We
yeah,
all we got.
we all we got, baby. So what do you think about that, Reggie, with the financial literacy in the household?
Well, I'm like you. My parents didn't teach me anything about credit. It was basically trial and error with me growing up.
Right,
I made a lot of mistakes. I made bad choices. Uh, but at being where I'm from and not having money also direct your choices to doing things that you don't want to do, but you just have to do. Because
right,
there's nothing else out there for you. Like high interest rates on credit cards and stuff like that. Had I known what I know now, things would be a whole lot different. And and me and my wife, we into teaching our kids, like, what now, what are they listening or not? I had a grandmother, she didn't know anything about credit, as far as interest, but she did try to tell me how to keep good credit. If I had listened to her, maybe my credit would be a whole lot better than it is right now. But
right,
things happen as you grow up. You find yourself in a problem, and you got to figure out, hey man, who's gonna get paid and who's not. When you have to make those decisions, it's hard to keep good
right.
credit. You
Exactly.
know, so and I'm in that situation now. What I'm saying, I'm still playing catch up. Um, so I feel you on what you're saying about we didn't learn anything, because I definitely didn't learn anything. And there's a lot of things I didn't know. I didn't know anything about college. I didn't know what to do when I got there. I didn't have all the things I needed when I was there. And I watched my wife do a lot of things I've learned. I learned because I married the right woman. She's taught me a lot of things. What I'm saying? She's all about keeping your credit right. Even when you can't, it's times you just can't do it. But she knows how to get it back and right again, so you can do the things that you're trying to do. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't even have this house. I'm saying?
Right,
I wasn't even worried about it. She's the one that got my credit right enough for me to just go and get this house. I wasn't. Hey, if it was me, I probably would be living in a house in the hood. I'm just being honest.
right,
But she wanted, and this to me, this is a great house. To her, she wanted more. But this is what we could get though with the money we had.
right,
So her dreams she aspires to be a lot more than I ever dreamed of, because hey man, I never dreamed of having my own house. Hell, I didn't even know I was gonna have any kids. And me, hell, I started late when I had my kids. I thought I wasn't
Right.
gonna have no kids, but here I am. I got three of them now. They run
Right.
around here, So as far as teaching your kids, what I'm saying, I'm hoping they'll listen to us. You know what I'm saying? I'm showing them the correct way of how to spend money, how to save money. I'm mostly teaching my kids how to save money because
Right.
that's something that you really need to learn. Because if you don't have a saving account, when things get bad,
Oh
it's gonna
yeah.
be really.
Oh,
I had a cousin. I had a cousin.
uh-huh.
He always told me, "Hey man, I at least keep three uh 3 months of my checks in my account at all times. I save up that much and I keep it there just in case I lose my job or something happens." It's just a rule that he go by. But his mom, which is my mom's sister, taught him all this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What to do when you're on a job, as far as like he ended up getting real sick and he got a what you call it, LMF LMFA.
Yeah.
You know,
Family medical FM. What is it? Family medical leave.
yeah,
FMLA. That's what it
yeah,
is.
yeah, family medical leave. And
Right.
if it wasn't for that, you would have lost everything. He said they only give me like 60 or 70% of what I'm making, but I'm still getting my money. And he's getting it for the rest of his life because all he had to pay was $1 a month, well, $1 a paycheck to put into this while he was working. And I was never taught that. His mom taught him that. Hey man, this is what you need to do. Put this much money, and it's only cost you whatever. I don't know if it was $1, whatever it was. It wasn't that much, and she made him, put money into that in case he ever got sick. And look,
Yeah.
look now.
It wasn't
You know,
enough to make him miss it. Whatever it
yeah,
was.
but I was never taught that. I was never taught none of that. I probably would have been in a better situation if I had known that I could do something like that and still, not work and still get a check. You know what I'm
Right.
saying, to cover me while I'm hurt.
Yeah. But like I said, that's just goes back to what I said about us as parents and the older in a generation. Even though we didn't get that from our parents, it is it's one thing to make an excuse. I always say, as black men, we got to stop making excuses and make a way. You
Yeah,
got to you ain't get it when you was growing up. That's cool. That's fine. That's over with. You can't regrow up. They can't. I don't even know this word. Regrow up, but you can't be re-raised. So
yeah,
what you have to do is take it from today on and make a conscious effort that I am going to educate my kids. But the only way you're going to be able to educate your kids is to educate yourself first. You see what I'm saying? So we got to get back into that mindset of re-educating ourselves. And when you re-educate yourself, you end up with a different point of view and a different outlook on life. And you actually approach life differently. I know that it's been a major change and shift in my life. You know that, Reggie, from where we've been, me and you've been knowing each other since we were 18 years old. You know what I'm saying? 17, 18 years old. We both 51 years old now. So they can do the math. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to remember all them years. That's how long you and I have been knowing each other. And we have seen the progress and the regression in each other's lives over and over
yeah,
again. You know what I'm saying? So I have consciously made a decision. And again, like you said, with the help of your wife, I lucked up and got I don't know if I lucked up or it was just my player skills, but whatever. But I ended up with a beautiful wife who is so much more educated than I am. I told her I'm the one with the degree, but you the one with all the sense. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? She teaches me stuff on a daily, Reggie, that I never even thought about, never even fathomed. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And it's just amazing how God has blessed both you and I with some women who we didn't even know existed. You know what I'm saying? Coming up through our years, these type of women we didn't even think they existed. I know I didn't. I
yeah,
kept getting stuck with the dummies that were leaning on me. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Now
yeah,
I got one that I can lean on some a little bit. And I just thank God for it. And I thank God for the wife you got too, because I see how she handled her business. I see how she be maneuvering and making things happen. But that's we just looked up and that's what we got. But when you find a woman like that, what that does, Rich, is make you want to be a better man.
Yeah.
So, we that's why I say I get up and educate myself and I get out there and make moves now that I didn't even think about making back in the day. But that's the you have to attribute that to the woman that you choose in your life. I tell people all the time, the woman that you choose in your life can make you or break you. That's women choosing men and men choosing women. But more so for a man choose the wrong woman, look, everything he got to crumble and disappear.
Right.
I just thank God for the fact that we both ended up in some pretty good situations. Because I wouldn't want to be doing good and my homeboy over there doing bad.
Hey, well, I have a question. What you think about Biden's choice for VP?
Well, actually, I saw that he chose a black woman, right?
Yeah, I think her name is Kamala Harris.
Oh, Pamela
I don't
Harris.
know if I pronounced it right.
Yeah, I know you're talking about Kamala. Kamala Harris, I
Yeah.
think how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna be honest with you, Reggie. This is my opinion, and I kind of got this opinion. Stephen Bobineau brought this fact up as well the other day when we were talking about
Yeah.
Biden's choice, getting ready to, on last Saturday's show. I understand what Biden is doing, but I don't think the world, America, is ready for anything but Donald Trump. But we got to
Yeah.
understand that the president and the vice president are representatives of the United States all over the world. And the thing about that is, Reggie, you got to think about it when they're dealing with countries who don't see women, even see women as equals to men. Women have no rights in certain countries, like a lot
Yeah.
of these Muslim countries and all that. They're not going to even respect her when she walks into a meeting, to do negotiations. Some won't even accept the fact that she's going to be there. They won't even show up for these negotiations and talks. So I understand what Biden is trying to do, but I think that it's a mistake right now. I think he would have been better served to choose. Maybe he could have, chosen a black male as a
Yeah.
running mate and put women in high places in the cabinet, and put them on the Supreme Court and things of that nature to help the black agenda along, because we need black women and black people, period, in the legislature to get some of these bills and these and in the judiciary branch. He could have appointed some black female judges, some black
Yeah.
legislators that would have offset or helped to navigate and push black agenda within his administration. But to choose a black woman and put her as his running mate, I personally think that is a mistake, because the world is not ready for that yet. They were
Yeah.
badly ready for a black president, but to put a black female in office as the second highest ranking official in our government, I don't think the world is ready for that yet. That's just my personal opinion. What do you think about it?
Well, you could never say what the world is ready for because
We weren't ready for Trump, huh?
well, I was gonna say a lot of people wasn't ready for Obama. I mean, my grandmother, she decided she wasn't gonna even vote for him because she thought he wasn't gonna even make it. She said, "Hey, man, I ain't trying to get the brother killed." So when I was asking you about what do you think about his choice, I wasn't thinking about the fact that she was a woman and that she was black. I was just thinking about, the type of person she is. If you knew anything about her, you know, uh,
Now I'm really gonna have
I
to go
mean, I
back.
don't know too much about her.
I've heard of her. I've heard of her, Reggie, but I don't really know any pertinent facts about her. But I will. Now that I know that she is the vice president, I'm gonna do what my due diligence as a black person. And I think we all need to do it. Is go out and research
Yeah,
who she is and what her views are and how is she going to help or hinder the black agenda. We got some black people who get in there and hinder the black agenda too. So we got to be
yeah,
careful.
yeah, yeah.
Don't vote for them just because they black. We're not gonna do that. Well, at least I'm not gonna do it.
Well,
But yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna have to
I
go
have
back
done it.
and research it.
I, I'm not gonna lie to you. I did vote for Obama because he was black. You know what I'm saying? But that's because they didn't want him in there. I mean, I didn't know nothing about the cat really. He spoke well. He seemed like he was a nice guy. I didn't know. I'm just being honest. I voted for him because he was black. And was I surprised he won? I was very surprised he won.
Right. You got
But that was because I was just
Obama,
trying to get a black president in there. Just
right?
that was my goal. But
And
now,
he was the most viable option that we had in a long ever because
yeah,
he tried to push Jesse Jackson, and baby mamas came from everywhere on Jesse. So
yeah,
we definitely weren't gonna be able to do nothing with Jesse. That's why I tell people all the time, Obama was a oddity. He was an anomaly. He is not the
yeah,
average black guy. He rose through the ranks real fast in Chicago. Then he rose through, a senator and all that real fast. He was just a very educated, well-spoken brother, like you said, who had not been in any. And let me tell you something. When he ran for office, you had to know them white folks went through his life with a fine-tooth comb.
oh yeah,
But you had to know that also impressed me even more about Obama because the worst thing that they came up with was he don't have no birth certificate. We can't find his birth certificate. I was like, that's the worst thing y'all can come up with. That look, didn't no baby mamas pop out of nowhere. Didn't no old drug dealers pop up that said they had been selling and smoking drugs and none of that popped up. Nobody, no harassment cases, no
yeah,
foolishness had happened in his brother's life. And not only that, nothing had happened in his wife's life either. They couldn't dig nothing up on her because believe me, once they couldn't find nothing on him, they went into her life in depth. So we have to
yeah.
understand that family right there is probably the most pristine version of a black family that you will ever find. I hate to say that, but that is the truth. I mean,
But
nothing.
you know what's amazing to me?
What's
You
that?
know what's amazing to me?
What's that?
The fact that they would go through the trouble to look for all this just to try to stop him from being president when they had all that out in the open with Trump and he still was president. It was like no matter what he did. I mean, I seen a little skit and I know it's meant to be funny, but it's not funny because I'm watching these white folks talk about Trump and
Oh,
no matter what he do, they all right with it.
oh,
You know what I'm saying? And this is mostly lower class white people. He's not
Reggie,
even in office for you. He's not there for you. He's not going to help you at all.
at all. But let
At
me tell you,
all.
let me explain something to you. Two things. First of all, first point I want to bring up is the rules are always different for a black man than it is for a white guy.
Right.
In the
Right.
same game, the same scenario, the rules are gonna always be totally different for us compared to them. Second thing I want to bring up is that I was amazed at the level of ignorance that Trump supporters had. I'm gonna give you an instance. I was watching some videos while Trump was running, and he was campaigning on the back that he was going to change everything Obama had done. That was one of Trump's biggest things. I'm gonna undo all of the 8 years that Obama, has how he's ruined our country for 8 years. I'm gonna undo all that. And that's really what helped spark his jump start in the campaign, because there were so many white folks that were still mad because they had a black president and they had to call him the president, and he was the president of the United States, not just the president of the black states. You know, black people, he wasn't just our president, he was the president of the entire United States. And there were some white folks who could not sleep a few nights after the election was over with, because the fact that a black man had to become the president of the United States of America and was going to go down in eternal history. You got to understand that. That president, we still talking about George Washington, and he was the first president of the United States officially. So you got to understand that if some white folks didn't want Obama's name, especially, what was it, Obama? Wait a minute.
His name was Obama Hussein. Oh, you talking about Barack Hussein Obama?
Hussein Obama. Boy, hush. It's some white folks who threw up when they said his name. Every time they said his name, they threw up in their mouth a little bit. You know, with the Hussein, we just got through dealing with Saddam Hussein, and then here come a black man running with Barack Hussein. Oh, come on, man. You know them white folks had a fit.
Say, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I was happy when he became the president, but I was punished for it as well, because the company that I work for was not happy.
Right.
They put raises on the freeze. I mean, they just wasn't doing nothing. I mean, they was just so mad. You walk in the office, man, they were so salty. You couldn't even bring his name up. And we just bring his name up just to get the look on their face.
Right.
You know, but you know, so I imagine it might be a great company to work for now because Trump is in office. Everything's probably out of good.
Hey man, look here. They probably sky high over there now. They high as they can be over there. They just happy as they can be. But what I was talking about was that they were showing videos of Trump supporters, and then they would come and talk to him. I don't know what this guy's name, the guy who was doing the video, he's a white guy.
I sent you the video.
Oh, okay, you were the one sent it. But he's on
the Daily Show.
Huh?
He's on the Daily Show.
Okay. But what intrigued me was they would ask people about what's it called? Affordable Health Care Act, right? Oh yeah, I'm all for that. Yeah, we need the Affordable Health Care Act. Well, what do you think about Obamacare? Oh, hell no, we don't need that. Obamacare and the Affordable Health Care are the exact same things. The only thing that I changed was I called it Obamacare. But in the actual name for it is the Affordable Health Care Act.
But you see how that works?
Exactly. Well, I don't see how that works. What I see is, let me tell you something. If you want to call it working, that's called functional ignorance, I guess. But that's not working. That's like saying I'm a functional crackhead. No, you're not. You are just a crackhead, and you're a functional idiot who says that I'm all for Affordable Health Care Act, but I don't want that damn Obamacare. Wait a minute. What in the world are you talking about? Where are you coming from? But that is the level of common sense. I would say common sense first. Then that's the level of education that Trump supporters are dealing with. You know, Trump knew. Let me tell you something about Trump, though. I'm not gonna hate on Trump, because I'm gonna tell you something. I can't never talk down on a player's game.
Yeah.
You know, at being a player, a former player myself, I could never talk down on a player's game. If Trump has played the entire United States, let me tell you how. Trump understood I ain't gotta be the popular vote. I just gotta win the electoral college.
Yeah.
His campaign was hell bent on winning those states with the biggest electoral college. Now let me explain something else that happened in the United States that we don't even think about. The last election, I'm gonna just say it like this: black folks quit on each other.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is there were in some states that have big black populations, some cities that have large black populations, you had over 500,000 people who did not even go out and vote that were eligible to vote.
Yeah.
Not only that, we have a lot of black people who think that there's, because they've been on probation or parole and they have felonies, that they can't vote. You know, and once you complete your paper, your probation or your parole, the day after you are eligible to vote. You need to go and register and get signed up and get ready to make a difference. But that comes from black people being undereducated and not doing their homework at home. You know what I'm saying? We just take word for it. We're like sheep a lot of times. We just follow the crowd. But the thing is, Donald Trump counted on that. Him and his campaign counted on the fact that black people weren't gonna show up. We had our look. It's like we got Obama in there. Okay, that's enough. You know what I'm saying? We're like, that's enough. We did our part. But no, you got to keep it up if you want to keep policies that are going to be conducive to black lives being better. You know, because Obama being president was good. But man, there's so much more work we need to do in our communities. And we instead of helping somebody who could have helped the works of Obama keep going, we let an idiot slide in there. But he was a player. I'm not gonna lie, he was doing. He played the political game and got his behind right on in there. Yeah, so I'm just hoping that we show up better this year at the polls.
You know, I have a problem with people that don't want to vote because, well, Joe Biden or whoever is the lesser of two evils. I mean, I get that. But this is my thing. If you don't vote, then it's just like you voted anyway. Whether you know it or not. I mean, it's just like in Roots when Kunta Kinte, he kept running away.
Right.
They gave him a choice. They gave him a choice. Hey man, which one you want me to cut out? This or that? He could come up with a choice, but when they went to make their own choice for him, he said, "Hey man, this right here, this cool. I mean, I want that, but I mean, that was the lesser of two evils."
Right.
I mean, that's the way I look at it. Sometimes we don't have a choice. We don't have a lot of choices. We have to pick the choices that we have. Exactly. I mean, it's just the way it is. You know, so you not picking the choice is allowing somebody else to pick it for you.
Exactly. And I always say this. I always say this. If you ain't gonna vote, then shut up. Don't say nothing when it gets. You know what I'm saying? I tell them you if it hurt, do like they used to do in the Western days. Put a piece of leather in your mouth and bite down. You know what I'm saying? And take the pain. That's what you got to do. And I don't want to take the pain. I want to have an option to choose if I want just a headache or I want my whole damn head blowed off.
Yeah.
I want to be able to make the choice. I take the headache, Reggie. I much take better, you know, I'd much rather take the headache than to have somebody blow my whole damn head off. And with going from Barack Obama, which may have been a headache to some people, to Donald Trump, he just blew our own damn head off. You know, that's just all it is to it. I don't care what nobody say. Donald Trump told us who he was way before he was elected. He didn't sneak up on us. You know, black people want to act like he snuck up on us. No, Donald Trump told you exactly who he was when he got to talking about all Hispanics or rapists and murderers. And he told you, and how he talked about women and grabbing them, you know where. And all of the harassment type charges that popped up on him. And him paying hookers, you know, while he was cheating on his wife. I mean, all of the let me tell you something. If Obama had been doing what Trump did before he got in office, we'd have never known Barack Obama. We would have never known. He'd have never been the president 44. He never would have been. It just never would have happened. He would end up like Jesse Jackson when he tried to run. You know, they
Yeah.
ran smooth out of town. And
You know, I always said, you know, my saying is, you said you weren't gonna cry. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So, you know, you did that to yourself. I
right.
mean, anytime a man he has supporters that's wearing T-shirts that say "Trump that hoe," hey man,
Hey, man.
he, say man, these cats got T-shirts on with "Trump that hoe." Really,
Yes.
man?
Hey man.
I'm
Trump,
not gonna
Trump.
lie. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I wish Obama could have been like that. No,
Right,
Trump is why I wish Obama could have been. You know, but of course he wouldn't have been our president if he had done these things. But it's amazing to me. It's just
right.
amazing.
Let me say this, Reggie. If Donald Trump happens to ever get to see this video, I want Donald Trump to know from a player to another player, oh, you the coldest ever done it, dog.
Yeah. Say
Man,
man.
coldest ever done it, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like,
Say
bro, are you
man.
serious? Yeah,
I mean, hey man, it wasn't me. I
uh,
mean, that song is talking about him. Hey, it wasn't me.
whatever.
Hey, and he can get away with it. You know what I'm saying? I just
Let me tell you
hey,
something. Man, no,
you can't be mad at him.
oh, huh? What you say, Reg?
No, I say you can't be mad at him.
Oh
He's
no,
just doing what he allowed to do.
hey man, look here. I told you I never talk down on the player's game. And Donald Trump is one of the coldest players I ever seen. I thought Suge Knight was cold until I met Donald J. Trump. Yeah,
Come on, man.
he makes Suge Knight look like a Boy Scout leader or something.
But come on, man. Trump that hoe.
Yeah,
Come on, really, man. They didn't
and
turn this man's name into a verb.
that
Trump
was
that hoe.
that was on t-shirts all over America, brother.
And women talking about, well, he could grab me in the, you know, I'm like, really, really. The Me Too don't mean the Me Too don't mean nothing, right? Oh,
No,
he could grab. Okay, I got you. You know
me
what
too.
I'm
Me too to them meant grab me too.
saying?
Me too they were worried about. They wanted to become famous you know, because Donald Trump had harassed them or molested them. That's the craziest thing ever, man.
Yeah.
But
Hey, man.
Reg, we got about 3 minutes left. Would you like to have any closing you know, closing statements or something you want to say or get out
Well,
there?
I want to bring up what is it that we used to have at the end of the show, Hood Shenanigans.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Hey
Go ahead.
man, I seen this cat on the side of the freeway. I got off the freeway. I was about to turn on, you know, turn under the under the underpass, the
Right.
overpass, and this cat had a sign that said, "I'm too honest to steal, but I'm too ugly to prostitute." And I was like, "Wow." Say
Man,
man, I
hey,
almost wanted to give him $1. I said,
I
man, you really thought of a sign.
gave him 5 just for that sign.
Yeah. I said, man, I wanted to take a picture of him, but I thought it would have been inappropriate. But I was looking at him like, wow, this dude says he's too honest to steal, but too ugly to prostitute.
Hey
I don't know
man,
how much money he made, but he was standing up there religiously with his sign showing it to everybody.
hey, that man is. Let me tell you what my hood shenanigan was today, Reggie. We ride down Cullen Boulevard. I saw a taco truck with a boot on the wheel. You
With
know
a
how,
what?
with a boot. You know how they put one of them boots where you
Yeah,
came?
yeah.
Yeah. They at the gas station. They got their taco truck parked up there doing business. And I guess they must have left and they were closed. And the people came up there and put a boot on the truck. Hey man, you only see something like that in the hood. You would not
Yeah.
see it in River Oaks nowhere or over there in Bel Air. You would not see that, bro. But anyway,
Hey,
I appreciate you, Reggie, coming on the show. We got a few seconds left. You go ahead and sign off, and then I'm gonna sign off, and we'll see these people later, man.
well, this is Reggio straight out of Blue Ridge, Sunnyside. Y'all know Checker Hope. Hey, we'll see y'all next Saturday, and I hope to see you.
All right. Again, this is JD from JD's Man Cave. This was just a short snippet of me and Big Reg and the kind of conversations that we have, man. And we just wanted to privy y'all to how we, discuss pertinent information amongst each other and bounce topics off each other. So again, thank y'all for tuning in to this version of JD's Man Cave. And we'll see y'all Saturday, like Reggio said, and we look forward to it. We'll see y'all Saturday at 7 o'clock. Have a good day. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you, Reggio.
Thank you.